What's up, everybody? Today we're talking about Trump saying black people are supporting him in the 2020 election and a lot more on Black Hollywood Live's The Trend.
You're tuned into Black Hollywood Live, the world's first digital broadcast network devoted entirely to urban entertainment and pop culture. Tune in right now.
What's up, everybody? Welcome to Black Hollywood Live's The Trend. I am Derrial Christon. Joining me today is a full panel.
We got a full house.
Full panel. Sizzling today.
Sizzling. It's hot.
It's hot. It's not all hot outside. It's going to be hot in this studio today, right?
Hot and right. That's for real. That's for real. Yes.
We got Courtney Stewart with us today.
What's up, everybody?
And we got two very special guests. I'm going to start with my left. We have TV producer Holly Carter with us today.
Hey. Welcome.
And as well as makeup guru Derrick Rutledge today.
Oh, you're too kind.
Yes. Yes.
We're glad to have y'all.
I'm glad to be here.
And how have you been battling the heat?
It's been something. I live on the East Coast, right? Washington, D.C. You know, last week we had our heat wave.
Yes.
Right, yeah.
Then when I got here on Tuesday, they said, my God, I think you brought the heat.
You did.
I'm like, I can't. I mean, yesterday was 101.
Wow.
You know, and then, you know, of course you go down, you know, I get out the valley, go over the hill, over the mountain, and then it went from 101 to 85.
Yeah.
Then coming back over here again, almost 100 again.
Yeah.
The struggle is real.
We're going to be like that for the next couple of days. But we don't have that humidity of the East Coast, though.
That's the part I do like. That's the part I do like. At least I can breathe and see.
That's right. You can breathe.
You're not suffocating.
You know,
breathe and see.
Right. You can just kind of powder yourself a little bit versus the sweat in the East Coast. All right. Well, we got some great topics today.
Yes.
Courtney, what you going to start us with?
Interesting topics. I mean, usually, we don't usually do the gossip in here.
We don't.
There is a little bit of gossip, but it's got a little twist because we kind of want to have a conversation about why are we always blaming the woman? So for those of you that don't know, all over the news or the news, TMZ, it's all the same thing at this point in this country, which is crazy. But anyway, all over the blogs and the TMZs and whatnot, we had some pictures of what seemed to be some potential infidelity between Nicole Murphy and director extraordinaire Antoine Fuqua. And in the end, he's currently, supposedly, we don't know, maybe he's separated, but he's been married at some point to Lela Rochon for the last 20 years. So everybody was going nuts because these pictures of them, they were in Italy and they were smooching and it looked inappropriate, and then the blogs went wild and everybody was like, oh snap, just 4 months ago Lela Rochon posted, congratulations to my husband for winning an award. So nobody thinks they're divorced, so everybody starts speculating like what's going on, and then the blogs go crazy, and Lisa Ray stepped into the shade room and made comments about Miss Nicole Murphy and how she's done this before. And basically, the conversation got real strong amongst a lot of women in comments all over the different blogs and things. A lot of women coming for Nicole and not really putting any hurt on Antoine. So everybody's kind of like, are we still in this, we're in a Me Too era where we're empowering women and women are supposed to be putting each other first and thinking about each other. Why are we still going after the woman when he is the one that's married? What y'all think?
I'm gonna let, I know Holly got something to say right now. I'm going to let her start.
Well, I mean, yes, it takes two to tango.
Yes, it does.
It absolutely does. I think they're probably going after her because she knew he was married. And, you know, as a woman, you just have to have integrity. Now, it doesn't mean that he's not guilty, but I think we always have to own it. You know, it's our responsibility to be accountable to our own integrity. And I absolutely feel like she's got her cross to bear, but he definitely should be put on up there himself.
Yeah.
I don't think she should take the brunt of it. Yeah. But she's definitely kissing a married man.
Yes, she is.
Yes, she is.
It's true.
So, yeah.
In a bathing suit.
And
he's in it looks like he's in a robe. Is that a robe?
Yeah.
Well, he had a towel on in one picture.
It's inappropriate.
It's inappropriate. And just for the record, she did initially say that she gave a comment that said that it was just a friendly kiss. They ran into each other in Italy, and they're long-term family friends, and it was a family friend kiss, and everybody then went nuts and was like, what is a family friend kiss that looks like that? And since then, she has released a full apology, basically saying, I am sorry to the Fuqua family and Lela and all of that. And then everybody's like, well, so are you now saying that you knew he was married?
Right.
Anyway, so what are you apologizing for? Because you just said it was a friendly family kiss. And if you're apologizing, like, we don't know. So just so y'all know, Antoine ain't saying nothing.
And this is just one picture. There was another picture as well. There were several.
Do
we have another picture?
We don't have the other picture. You might can pull that up. I don't know. But there's one where they're sitting on some chaise lounges or something by a pool and they're kissing again. And then there's one where they're both in the pool together. So, I mean, it looks like they were.
Are you sure that maybe it wasn't, these weren't posters for an upcoming movie?
I mean, somebody said that. Sure. But why doesn't his wife know about it?
Right.
And why doesn't he just say that?
She had that also, because if that were the case, like.
I see you, Derrick, trying to play it political. Okay. I see what you're doing here in your orange shirt. I see what you're doing here today.
Yeah.
Okay.
I think that's good.
I mean, it could have been staged.
That's why I said, well, this is a really nice poster for an upcoming movie.
Yes, it is.
I said, a nice swimsuit,
Does he act?
He's showing his own
I know he's a director.
He's a director.
Yeah, that's what I'm thinking. Maybe he's acting in his own movie coming up.
Very well could be.
Perhaps.
Very well could be.
That might be.
Who are we to judge?
There you go. That's what I was going to say.
That I never want to get involved in.
We don't know anyone's
judging anybody's
situation.
life. All I can say is we are accountable to our own integrity, and it is incumbent upon us to own that.
Absolutely.
Right.
Does it look suspect? Yes, it does. But do I know what's going on in their marriage as well? I don't know if there is an agreement. I don't know if they are getting separated.
We don't know.
We'll wait to see what his wife says.
Lila Rashawn deleted her Instagram, so she.
Really?
Yeah. So nobody's. Yeah. So who knows? And Nicole Murphy disabled her comments, so people can't comment. And that's what it is.
That's hard.
It was serious.
That's the picture.
We're getting pictures in the studio. Yeah, they were floating together. And they just looked like they were having a good time.
A very good time.
Maybe they're just friends.
Yes, maybe.
All right. Okay.
How are they? Who got the pictures? Where did they come from?
Paparazzi were really far away.
They were that close?
No, they were far away. He had a long, because somebody was well, I'm assuming, based on what I read, the paparazzi lens apparently was really long, and he was like up on a hill back somewhere because they were in like this little villa.
That lets you know you really have to be careful what you do.
Yes.
Oh, you can't do anything.
I see that.
No, not in 2019, y'all.
Not in this country, not in another country.
No.
It is. The information is out.
It's out there forever.
Right. Well, either way, good luck to the family. Hope y'all figure all that out. And we can stop being so angry with women. Like, yes, hold her accountable, but
absolutely, both should be.
The women get real vicious in the comments, and that's just not a part of the new world that we want to be living in.
That's right.
All right, so moving on to our next question of the day. I found this story super fascinating and slightly, I mean, it's funny, but whatever. How black qualifies as black enough? Okay. So we have a fella in Washington State. His name is Ralph Taylor. He has an insurance company. He's 55 years old, and he decided, I want to do my Ancestry DNA test. Like, I want to know what I'm made of. So he found out, he did his ancestry history, and he found out he was 90% Caucasian, he was 6% Indigenous American, and he was 4% Sub-Saharan African. So he was like, whoa, I'm African. Wow, I'm black. And decided that he deserved a minority business contract. So,
wow.
What? Some of you may or may not know that state governments and the federal government offer minority business contracts to basically encourage people to hire minority businesses around the country. And often minority businesses are subject to racism, just like anything else in this country. So they put a certain amount of contracts that are just available for minority-owned businesses. And since, Mr. Taylor discovered that he was black, he decided, well, I qualify for a minority-owned business contract. He put in his application, and he was accepted on the state level, but then it ended up being denied on the federal level, and he said, oh no, but I'm black, and he said, I'm suing you, because there's no standard. Who gets to decide, who's black enough to get a minority-owned contract? So he sued. I'm sorry,
Did he win?
It's amazing. It's still in court.
It's still pending. Okay.
It's still pending. But he basically argued that there's no objective criteria, and they're just picking winners and losers however they want to. A representative from the Minority-Owned Business Administration said they work really hard to be fair, and nothing is just black and white. And she said, quote, applicants who are not visibly identifiable as a particular race must submit additional paperwork, such as a birth certificate or tribal enrollment papers, and they're also encouraged to provide proof of hardship or discrimination that they have faced due to their minority status.
Wow.
In Taylor's situation, he elected not to include any proof of his hardship.
Of course he did.
Because, know, maybe he forgot, maybe he didn't have any. We don't know, but it's still out there. So they asked the sociology professor to sort of comment on it, and she said, quote, "To think of identity as a few genetic markers is woefully inadequate and incomplete. You have two facets of identity, who you think you are and who people say you are, and that should be our guide in this situation." So,
I mean, this one is really interesting. I'm not going to lie. Because if we go back to slavery, if you had
it was one drop.
Right.
Absolutely.
You were black.
Right.
Absolutely.
So he has what, 4 or 5%?
He got 4 drops.
He got 4 drops.
4 drops.
3 more drops.
4 drops.
Than slaves had.
4 drops.
I'm just saying.
4 drops.
It's interesting. Like, what do we have? How do you measure that?
Well, that's what's funny about like laws and things that we kind of determine to try to help and push society forward, because you can't legislate morality or ethics. And in the end, the Minority Business Administration obviously was established to keep discrimination at bay.
Right.
Brother, you ain't being discriminated against because of your color.
Absolutely.
Right.
So the spirit of what that exists for, he is going against, even though technically perhaps we should not be able to determine, he's only white, but he's not operating in the spirit of what minority-owned business administration is trying to do.
Right.
Yeah, I don't know if he qualifies for that per se.
Well, he's bold. Like, I mean, I think that's pretty bold. Like, go, brother.
I mean, listen, it's like I can't even be mad at him, I guess, because it is bold. But
you can't be mad at him.
I can't be mad. I'm saying like theoretically, I can't be mad at him.
Okay.
For him trying it. You know what I mean? But I don't know. That's a tough one. What do you guys think? Holly, I feel like
I can be mad at him. He is clearly white and needs to sit down.
There it is. She answered it. I'll pass this over to Jess.
Come on,
I think Derrick's still trying to decide.
It's hard for me to say that he's being discriminated against because of those 4 little drops that he has. Because I'm sure that he's gotten many contracts that he's been qualified for.
Right.
He's gotten all kinds. So this one little contract shouldn't keep him from wanting to go after what he wants. But I would say no, he doesn't need the contract.
Yeah.
I'm sure he's doing
I'm sure he's
well.
done. Yeah, got other avenues that.
Yeah, there are plenty of other avenues available for him to do what he's trying to do.
Yeah.
Right.
Versus tap into the dollars, the very limited dollars. That are available for us.
Very limited.
And don't get it twisted. It's not like these contracts are just plentiful and they're just thrown. It's a lot of minority-owned businesses, and there are very few contracts. And
absolutely.
Yes, so it is not. And
Thank you and good night, sir.
Yes. And that paperwork is no joke. So we have to go through, because I've had to do the paperwork for a minority in California, and that is not. It's some serious work. Okay, just to get that potential.
But we can answer all those questions.
Yes, I can tell you my hardships.
I can tell you my hardships. Listen, you got enough time? That's several days.
Do you have time? Obviously, he has too much time, because he was like, "This is the best way I can capitalize on my financial situation is to go after that." Really, bro?
Yeah.
But he is our brother.
He is our brother, and I can't wait to find out how this one kind of plays out. She's like, "You all brother, you ain't my brother."
She's like, "I don't know him."
I don't know him.
I don't.
Oh boy. Well, speaking of black folks again,
they're everywhere.
They're everywhere. Black people, we are taking over. Mr. Trump, who I try and ignore so many times, has made a new statement about the upcoming election, 2020, as we all are kind of preparing for that. And, we've been seeing a lot of things on the news back and forth. I mean, even from impeachment to Trump for his, lying and all those other things he's done to just who our candidates are and who's going to be the stronger candidates. Well, Mr. Trump was meeting with the Prime Minister of Pakistan, and in his own Trump way, he believes that the black people are going to come out in a big group to support him during the 2020 election. In fact, his exact statement was, "We have a fantastic relationship with the African American community. Certainly, you're going to see that in 2020. He says that we gonna come support him. What do y'all think about that?
Are you gonna go support him?
Absolutely not.
Well, you have my answer.
That is actually hell to the no.
Yes.
Yeah. Yeah.
But
I mean, what do you say?
Yeah, what
to
do you
that?
say to it?
Where does it even? It would be one thing if we thought. I mean, clearly, as we learned yesterday, if you didn't know before, because Mueller did his testimony before the House committee, he's a liar.
Yeah.
We already knew
we
that.
We can't even take what he's really saying seriously.
But I always wonder. I'm like, is it founded in any sort of? Like, is he getting some information that he's just blowing up, or is he really just digging this out of the back of his neck and just randomly coming up with this stuff?
I think he is randomly coming up with this. I think he believes his own hype and his own propaganda. I believe that my mother always said, if you lie, you'll cheat and steal. And I cannot imagine that we as a people, knowing what he has strategically done to continue to marginalize us, and not just African Americans, but people of color, period.
Absolutely.
That we would, rally behind. That said, he's got a group of people who will. And I will say that there have been quite a few African American people that I know and have great relationship with that did say, or that has said, listen, look at the economy.
Yeah.
There are things that he has done that, we've got to take our hats off to.
He did speak about that as well.
So, I mean, me and, as I say, me and my four will serve the Lord. Yeah, we won't be serving that one.
No service.
We won't be serving that one, and I'm not quite sure how many of us will. But to say, to go on record, there are things that he has done that people are acknowledging that make me nervous that there might be a group that will support based on that.
Well, there is, after that statement, there is. It says that there is no approved increase in ratings from African Americans. They said it's non-existent. So what he's saying, he's just making this up. There's no statistics that are out there that show the increase in that from African Americans.
Yeah. Absolutely.
And I don't know. We're going to go down a dark road if we keep going. But I just don't understand that, because like you said, I definitely know there's people of color and Black especially, and Latino that support him because the economy. They feel like the economy is doing well. And there's arguments on both sides of that of how well it's actually doing and who it's actually doing well for and all of that.
Well,
but but how is that your only measure for president of the whole United States? Is that's what I don't quite get. And I would like to understand. Because if we could understand it, maybe we would know what to do against it, to work against that.
Yeah.
But I just don't have any. I can't grasp it. I don't grasp how that is the single thing that makes it okay, makes all the other stuff okay. Because in the end, it's not like the economy was tanking when he came in, and he turned it around. But Obama had been doing it for 8 years to get it turned around, and he continued the growth, and that's good.
He came in on the growth.
But I just don't understand why people can't process that, and I need help.
I don't get it either, just because we hear and see so many of the negative things that he is doing and also tearing this country apart. The fact that people don't even recognize that, that just, it baffles me. It really does. And listen, to each his own, but there's a picture that showed up of him. Was it at a rally?
He was at a rally.
He was at a rally, and there's a picture that showed up there's a bunch of black people in the background
behind him.
With Trump, flags and signs supporting him. So a lot of people have been speculating or saying, were they paid, or who are these people?
Bette Midler specifically made the comment on Twitter that some people are calling racist because she said, "Who did he get the black ground? Who did he
she
pay
called it
for
black
the black ground?"
Black ground.
And people thought she was being racist, and then some conservatives were like, "Well, nobody's coming at her for that." And I was like, "I mean, I'm not offended because I can't believe that they did it without being paid."
I wasn't offended either.
I don't know.
No.
So I don't know.
Because if they were there, they were there.
So it is what it is.
What do you think, Derrick?
I know I'm not supporting him. I know that.
That's all I got.
It's funny you say that because I was watching television the other day and I saw this reporter, and he was actually asking these group of African Americans, who were wearing vote for Trump, support Trump, and they were all holding signs, and they were actually saying that they believe because of the economy that he's doing such a wonderful job. But they're not thinking about all the other programs that are being cut. Education. Right. We're talking about women's rights. All these things that are being taken. So
security. Talk about the border.
You know, borders. But all the things that he's actually cutting and everything. So don't understand why people would think that, you know, he's doing such a wonderful job that's to support him and give him another term. I can't see that at all.
It's like because you got an extra $5 in your check. Like, you think that was some grand, amazing gesture that's going to change your life. Meanwhile, he's rolling back regulations on clean air, so we're all going to be suffocating in 5 years.
Right.
Because
the thing about it is he doesn't believe that.
No.
I mean, we're facing all kinds of earthquakes. We got hailstorms. We got tornadoes.
Yeah,
we got
crazy climate change stuff.
Right, that's going on, and he still doesn't believe that anything's going on with the climate.
How do we reach those people, guys? Like, how do we pierce that? Because those are the people that will turn the tide.
Right.
As much as we hate it, like, it's because they're the ones that show up and show up for him.
That's very true.
It's true.
Very true.
So, I don't know. We got debates next week.
Yeah, it's going to be interesting.
Those will be quite interesting.
I know.
I will be tuned in.
I actually think this is going to be one of the most interesting elections that we've had in a long time out. I mean, just overall. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Obama was a different thing, but this is like, I just feel like this country is either really gonna divide us all the way, or you know, I don't even know how to even process it right now. I feel like this one is really going to be a very interesting, long
A pivotal moment.
run of a debate.
Absolutely.
Exhausting, in fact.
Exhausting.
Yes.
It leaves me verklempt.
Yes.
Exactly. I like that word.
Yeah, right.
Go ahead. I see you with your words.
SAT word.
I like that. I like that. All right, we're going to talk about some positive things here because we have all this, you know, entertainment royalty up in the room tonight.
I know.
You know, I mean, we
Shiny.
got Holly who started off, you know, doing from rock to Fresh Prince of Bel-Air, casting for that. You know, and now you've got one of my new shows that's coming on VH1.
Yeah.
You know, Love and Listing, July 29th. I'll be watching. And you also have
Next Big
The
Thing.
Next Big Thing, currently on BET. Started July 9th around
July
there.
9th,
July
yes.
9th.
you
And
doing things,
you just got a lot of stuff in your hands.
Busy lady.
Yeah, and then I've got the Clark Sisters
The
movie.
Clark Sisters movie.
I
can't wait for that.
Excited.
I can't wait for that.
Excited.
Look, new fan already. Look, new fan.
I got chills.
Yes.
Oh, God. Yes, they give you chills.
I wish we got that reaction on camera, but we did. But I wish I got it on literally like a little camera.
I've done makeup for Dorinda on several things, so yeah.
Yep.
Album covers and everything.
That's right.
See, at BHL we start partnerships.
That's right.
Yes.
Yes, we do.
Partnerships.
Connections.
Yes. I love it.
So tell us about these great projects you got going on. Let's start with the Next Big Thing because that's currently on already.
Yes. Well, that Tina Davis, who managed and started Chris Brown's career, came to me with the idea, and she kind of had a germ of the idea based on putting artists back in development.
Yeah.
You know, we lost the Motown way.
Yeah.
And so she brought me the idea, I developed it, brought the team in, and we sold it to BET, and we are on the air. And literally it is helping to kind of navigate these up-and-coming R&B and hip-hop artists on their journey to hopefully being the next big thing.
Wow.
That's good.
That's what it is. So we've got celebrity mentors like Tamar and Big Boy and
Those are
Little
big personalities,
Kim.
too.
Yeah, we got really, really big personalities.
Yeah.
And then our judges is Zaytoven, Tina, and Dame Dash.
Wow.
Wow, that's awesome lineup.
And my
good,
other executive
taking
producer.
Taking it back.
Yes, that's what she wanted to do.
Because the whole
take it
thing
back.
about it, a lot of these artists now, they don't understand that they don't understand the rehearsals and the
Right.
pain is what it takes to get there. They think it's instant.
Yeah.
instant.
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
So you take
It's
it
not.
back to the grassroots.
Yeah.
But do you think that it's really going to, like, I love the concept of the show, and I do agree that
Right.
it needs to go back, but do you think that it'll ever really go back to that day
No.
We will
of
have
true
that
artistry
full
and that
artistry.
full form?
You know, I think there's going to be a form of it because they're seeing the need. I mean, what we're seeing is your pop-up Instagram stars,
Right.
and their longevity is it has a time clock to it. Basically because you don't have the opportunity to really, to really watch the movement, of their career. But I do believe that shows like this will continue to kind of influence the mindset of the labels, because we do have Capitol Records is involved, Empire is involved, Def Jam is involved, and so they are our labels, and they really are kind of digging in and really seeing what the process is like, and it's kind of taking them back. And so it's been an interesting process. The other person that we have that I'm so excited and heard at the same time to say is Nipsey. Him being a part of the show with one of our contestants specifically was a moment to just embrace and remember, and so we are so excited. His episode is episode 9.
Okay.
Yes,
check that out, everybody.
For that, our executive producer is Ricky Hughes. So it's been It's been really ran by women. Yeah. It's 3 women who are the executive producers.
Love that.
And our crew was really kind of female centered. Mm-hmm. So we were really, sensitive about how to get this done and what message we wanted to put out there in terms of what we want people to see as it relates to behind the scenes. Yeah.
Do you feel like the audience has the attention span and the desire for what that will make now?
Well, you know what? Only time will tell. Mm-hmm. We've got 10 episodes to see. I know that what we did add to it, and this is to the credit of the network, they wanted to really see the behind the scenes, almost quasi-reality piece of it. Yeah. So it's part competition, part reality. Yeah. And so that gives the audience something to kind of hook on to.
It gives it that extra layer.
You get to see the real personal stories behind the scenes. You get to see the drama,
And you get to understand what the artist is actually going through.
Absolutely, because it's real.
It's a hard process.
Yeah. It's hard. It's hard. Even while I was watching it, I'm like, I wouldn't be doing that. But God bless you.
He said, God bless you.
Yeah. God bless your bones, son. So, but it's been fun. It's been fun. It's been an interesting journey just to watch the development of it, the marketing of it, the production of it, and dealing with the people afterwards.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And then how do you go about picking your projects? Because you also have Love and Listing, but does it just it has to speak to you in a certain way, or because it seems like these are obviously 2 totally different style of projects. Yeah. So you don't have just one lane that you like to stay in.
Well, here's the truth to that. The truth to that is I have always done family, faith, and music driven. And so that has kept me in a lane. So Love and Listings is very different from what I've done.
I can't wait. I can't wait.
Listen,
I already told her I can't wait.
It is so different. Even Next Big Thing is different because listen, I co-created the Preachers of franchise. So we did Preachers of LA, Preachers of Atlanta,
we had a couple of
Detroit.
on the show.
Yeah, then I did the Sheards. Just Chad Loves Michelle, which we did for OWN. So all of these were family kind of music, based in faith. And so Next Big Thing and Love and Listings, I'm like, Jesus, now, I don't want you to get me in trouble for this. But what I like about it is it's millennial. Yeah. It's a little more progressive. It's having another conversation. And what I have found that even in both of these projects that are very different from what I've done, it's given me the opportunity to still have that faith influence, when they go through drama on the set, now Jesus wouldn't come on over here.
Right.
They're like, Jesus, I said, come on over here, let me pray for you because this ain't working. And so one day I was like, God, okay, I see why I'm here, so let me just be quiet and understand what we're doing here. But it's been a lot of fun.
Yeah. You got a lot of great things going on.
Yeah, I'm excited about it.
We're excited to see everything.
All of it, especially the Clark sisters.
Especially the Clark sisters.
Yes. 15 years it took me to bring that to fruition.
Say that again, y'all.
15 years.
Listen to that.
You really have been working that long for that?
Yes, absolutely. But timing is everything, and God's timing is even more so.
Amen to that.
Very true.
We need to be reminded of that.
Oh my God! Yes. I mean, the fact that I used to be so frustrated, I'm like, God, why is this not happening? Why is this not happening? And it wasn't time for it to happen because Kiera hadn't been born. Kiera is Karen Clark's daughter, Karen Clark's daughter, and she's playing her mother.
Perfect. Yeah. It's
You know,
like,
and
it was meant to be.
it was meant to be.
Yeah.
And when I finished the casting, I was like, I need to put Kiera in this movie. I need to make sure. And then I'm like, the idea came from the casting, not the director. She was like, well, I know you wanted to do this role, but we should have her do this role. And I'm like, God, you are something else.
Yeah.
So, so that's what it is. 15 years later, it's ready to go. And Queen Latifah, Mary J. Blige, and Missy Elliott are all producing it with me.
heavy hitters.
So it's a blessing. We're excited about it.
I just got chills. Everything you're touching is gold.
Especially watching Donald Lawrence work with them. All the press and everything I've been watching. And Donald Lawrence is incredible.
He's a beast.
Oh my goodness, he is.
And the singers sound exactly like the ladies.
And the harmonies are so tight. They sound.
Absolutely.
I was letting a friend of mine hear the trailer, and he said that is not. They're lip syncing. I said, no, that's really those women. That's really them. Right.
That's them.
Well, you know what? When you have your premiere, maybe you can have Derrick come in and do the makeup. Listen, we gotta talk about you too, Derrick.
I'm forgetting about
We're
you.
I love it. Because you actually are here for an award yourself.
Yes, I am.
So for the Flair Fashion Award,
Right.
2019.
So tell us about that. Tell us what Flair is.
What Flair is the Fashion Legacy Association for industry recognition. What they do is back when I was doing makeup, because I've been doing makeup now close to 30 years.
You got a lot of people, Michelle Obama, Oprah, Beyonce. I mean, y'all both got the heavy hitters all up covered in this world.
And so, back during those times of doing makeup, I got interested. I've always been interested in fashion. I love clothes. That's not going to ever go away. But I also love the fact that Ebony Fashion Fair highlighted African American designers.
Yes.
Yeah.
And the fact that they were actually pivotal in helping to showcase and create and develop and get those careers of African American male and female models out there.
Absolutely.
And then what they want to do is they want to bring all of that back and for that next millennial African American male female model that's trying to get out there. So it's like a what's that 2.0 recap? What is it called? But they want to bring it all back so they can get the younger audience interested in it, and also showcase the talents of African American designers as well. And I represent the beauty portion of the award ceremony. So
what's your actual award?
It's I'm one of the honorees, but I'm representing the beauty industry.
Gotcha. Okay.
The beauty industry, because that's where I used to do makeup for quite a few of the models, on the traveling tour, as well as Shayla Simpson, and then once Shayla Simpson left, it was Pamela Fernandez who's getting honored this year.
Wow.
Nice.
And then, I mean, I feel like we've seen a big transition of African American models, women of color models being used, just overall. I mean, even I used to work at Vibe Magazine in New York, and I remember Mel Wilbekin, who was the fashion director at the time, he really changed the look of what models look like.
Yeah.
You had Will LeMay, you had we just had her on.
Alec Webb. You remember Alec Webb? We were going from.
Oh my God.
Lyris. We had Lyris Cross.
Okay.
We were looking at these models in the book, and I was like, wow, these are different from what you see in like Maxim and GQ and that kind of thing. Outside of Tyson Beckford and Tyra and Naomi and those things.
And then some of my ones that aren't even here, like Alan Cephas, who really started. But what I'm loving about fashion and the fashion industry is that they're really realizing that African American comes in all different shades. I'm talking about we're now seeing models that are becoming popular that are albino. We're seeing those freckles. We're seeing alopecia. We're seeing they come in all shades and all nationalities and all ethnicities and and everything. So that's what I'm loving about it. It's not that quote unquote beauty thing, but beauty comes in all facets. And that's what I love about it.
How you rock
and that's what Flair wants to showcase. That's what Flair wants to showcase.
Nice.
It's funny because we always ask this question though, because we're talking about over the years how even in Hollywood Hollywood and beauty, like there's trends. It's kind of like, oh, black is in, oh, this is in, oh, this is in. How do you guys feel in beauty and then obviously in Hollywood? That is the change that seems to be occurring, something that's going to stay? Right. Is it a momentary movement? Do you think that we are finally in a place where it exists?
Yeah,
it's
in both
not
lanes.
just something that's kind of coming in and going out. TV, fashion, all of it.
You want to start?
No, you go.
I think it's here to stay. I think it's gonna get bigger because, as you know, I mean, everywhere you go now, you're seeing a mixture of the nationalities, and like you said, a few drops of African American blood. You consider African American. I mean, you can see the change in the commercials. You see everything is that mixed relationship, and so and then with everything with all, because no one's hiding their beauty, it's becoming more popular now to be who you are in the beauty industry. So I think it's here to stay, and it's going to get even bigger.
That excites me.
That makes me
that means a lot more opportunities.
Yes, it does.
Absolutely. There are a lot more African American led and themed television projects, films, things of that nature, music. I just feel like that urban culture is mainstream at this point. And I really, go ahead.
No, and most of the money that's being made is coming from us.
Absolutely. Yeah.
It's coming from us, and people don't even understand that.
At 100%, 100%. I mean, when you think about, the gifts and talents of people of color, while they say certain things don't go global, we go global.
Absolutely.
We go global.
Yes.
They want to look like, be like, sing like, dance like, bounce like, throw like.
Not fully giving us the credit for it, though. We don't really get the credit yet. We've gotten more credit, but we don't get all the credit yet.
That's the exact thing that they use to say that we aren't worth enough because we weren't global. And that's the exact thing that we actually are.
Yeah, we are global. We are global. And that scripture says that last shall be first. And they might have looked at us as, behind or after the curve, but we are in front of the curve. And it is up to us to own our moment, maximize the moment that God has graced us with. And if we do that, we will open the door for other people that are coming behind us, like my baby right there.
Amen.
Oh, that's your baby?
That's my daughter.
How are you?
Journey.
I don't even need to go to church on Sunday anymore. Holly just delivered that sermon here today. Go ahead, Holly. Hallelujah. Hallelujah. I need a rag or something.
Oh my God. I need my fan.
I need my fan. Where my Bible at?
She don't know where to play the book.
I feel good now. I'm motivated. As far as I'm concerned, we can leave the show. We're going to make some money.
You have to go stay on this show. You have to be on TV. We're going to be everywhere.
We're going to be everywhere.
Oh, you guys are crazy. That's all right.
Amen. I receive all of that you just said. All of it.
Receive it.
Receive it and believe it.
For you.
Yes.
Receive it and believe it.
Yes.
All right.
But I do want to say before we leave that if anyone is interested in wanting to be a part of Flair, then they can contact the Flair website. I don't want to say the wrong things, but I'm sure you all can let them know.
Yeah.
And then also, if they want to be a part of the weekend, they can go on the website and find all the information about that.
All right. Well, where can fans find you on social media?
Oh, yes, of course. I want to be known on social media. Derrick, DERRICK, the number 4 MKUP. Derrick Pameka.
I love it.
Where can they find you?
They can find me at Dr. Holly Carter, Dr. Holly Carter.
I like that.
How is it Holly? It's just Holly with a Y or an I?
It's Y.
Okay. Because I know some that spell it with an I.
Yes. HOLLY Carter.
Carter.
Courtney?
I will be doing that.
Yeah, you got a new fan. Look, I feel like some moves about to happen.
I know.
Already see it.
Moves all up in the studio. We putting connections together.
I love it.
All right, you guys can find me everywhere at Stuart Starlet.
And you can find me at Derrial Christon on Instagram, Twitter, and Facebook, and on my CBS show on Saturdays. This is LA, 3 o'clock and 3:30. Give me those ratings. So we'll see y'all.
All right. Yes, I like that. Yeah.
And everybody have a great weekend. And next time we see you, it'll be August.
Yes.
Oh my God.
It's gonna be August. Yeah, it's here.
It is here.
It's literally next Thursday.
Next
All right.
Thursday.
It's been
All
great,
right.
guys.
It's been great. Have a great weekend. Stay cool if you're in LA. Well, actually.
On behalf of our BHL staff, we would like to thank you for tuning in to Black Hollywood Live, the world's first digital broadcast network devoted entirely to urban entertainment and pop culture. Check out our Black Hollywood Live YouTube page for even more great programming and amazing content. And be sure to subscribe and like our channel when you do. I'm your BHL host, Nakia Monet, and you can find me on all social media at Kiki Boom Boom or at Black Hollywood Live. Black Hollywood Live, Hollywood redefined.